Peace, love, and blessings. This is the Sacred Empress Alitash, your melanated Mayan mystic with the Mayan moon energy for today, February 26, 2024. Before I get into this video, I want to make sure to say, please make sure you watch this completely and to the end. Today and the next 3 days after are a really important time in the calendar. And if you're really here to understand the energy and utilize it, you have to hear this. So please listen to it until the end. If you like it, please like it, share it, repost it, subscribe to this YouTube, TikTok, wherever you are hearing this video. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today we are in Kin 129, the red crystal moon of the 260-day token. Let's get started. We know that when we have the red crystal moon, when we're in a red sign, it is a sign of initiation to start and to begin. The red crystal moon, or the red moon specifically, is important because it's about us purifying our emotions so we are able to stay moving. The important part about life is that we always flow. When we get stuck in certain places, we become stagnant. And that definitely happens in the realm of emotions. If we are stuck with an emotion that's with a memory or with um, anything extra, it's hard to let the energy flow from the emotion. So the thing about the red crystal moon is that we purify our emotions or our universal water so that we flow. And if you see the sign, it's a portal or a cave where you can see the moon shining in on it. This is especially important today as we are in the middle of the calendar where you focus on your emotions, where we have just literally seen this. I especially have just seen this looking out my window from my bedroom this morning and seeing the moon from my window looking very similar to this picture. When we're in the red moon, it's about processing. We've just went through um, our emotional storage, and it brings up a lot of information. This allows us to process. Only because we are in the very center of the calendar, we're processing our whole year up until now. And this is going to give us insight into how we want to push and initiate and move forward. Some very well-known red crystal moons are Woodrow Wilson, Diane Sawyer, Chipper Jones, Herbie Hancock, and Dudley Moore. We are in the crystal tone of cooperation, the spirit energy of cooperation. Um, Dedicate means to devote to a task or to a purpose, having a single-minded loyalty or integrity. What are you dedicated to? If you put all things and all people on an equal footing, you are able to deal with the situations in a more organized way. And cooperation is the process of working together to the same end. So when you dedicate yourself to something, when you universalize, make it open to everybody, putting everybody and everything on one, more than likely you will tap into the spirit tone of cooperation. When you're dedicated to something and when you're being your best and doing your all, 9 times out of 10, people will jump in um, to help be a part of your success and what you're doing. So this is especially important as we're in the middle of the calendar, as we shift from getting galactic portals that come Energy comes from the spirit to us, and after this time is going, the galactic activation portals are going to be from us to spirit. It's going to be what is inside of us, um, going out to the universe. So it's very important that we kind of know where we are. Here in the token, the count of days, there are 260 days in the calendar. As you can see, there are 20 signs. You can see each one in the very first column. 13 tones or spirit energy. You can see that in each row where there are 13 different spots in the row. Um, and they're not numbered the way you would normally see it because of how the days are counted. But there's 20 signs, 13 tones or spirit energy, just as there's 200 days of a gestation from a human from conception to birth. When they're born, we look for 20 fingers and toes, and we also have 13 joints. So there's always a natural correlation because we're all connected as one. The token or the Mayan calendar is divination, it's prophecy, and it gives direction. We start with the year bearer, which gives us the focus of the year. We start out with the fact that the sign is white. We know that this year is about refinement. It's about making things pure, adjustments, organization. We detox as well. The white wizard is about enchanting. This year, it has been all about what you say to yourself. What is the tape player in your mind saying to yourself over and over again? Because what you say to yourself is what you manifest. Receptivity is, what are you receptive to? What are you open to? Do you need to be more open to certain things? Do you need to be less open? But you're magnetic, and being receptive means that you're going to attract a lot of things. And we want to know what thoughts, when we think of the enchant, what are we saying to ourselves to seem to stand the test of time on a positive slant or a not so positive slant? This energy is going from the 26th of July of 23 up until July 24th of the current year. Then when we talk about the overtone tone of radiance or the spirit energy, it's been powerful or important that we empower ourselves, that we command our space, our reality, our future, our mind, our bodies, our soul, and radiance is we are going to be radiant. It's a light or heat that is emitted. So we emit our light, our vibration, our frequency at all times. And so in order to tap into that radiance, we empower ourselves and we command our reality. We are currently in a transformation cycle. The transformation cycle is a 52-day period that teaches us about how to make and deal with changes. We change form, we have a metamorphosis, we change our cycle, a cycle where our outer reality is equal to our highest self concept. The transformation cycle is the most intense of all cycles. 40 of the 52 days are portal days, where the days are more intense and amplified. It's easier to move from one state into another. If you're aware of it, you can use that with confidence. If you're not, you may be feeling out of sorts because the energy has been so um, different and you're feeling things so more um, with more awareness. But for many reasons, the transformation cycle is the most intense of all the cycles. 40 of the 52 days are portal days, like I said, or have said. And this year, we are currently moving with the earth like on a really synchronized way where the transformation cycle is ending right around the spring. We're having a lunar eclipse. Um, then we have a 52-day cycle of harvest, the ripen cycle. And so what that means is just like the plants are following different signals in order to go from seed to plant, going from beneath the dirt or being in darkness into light. We're also um, doing the same thing. And so, isn't it worth the time to plant seeds within ourselves and have them develop and harvest with the plants, with the trees during the spring? My goodness, we had an opportunity to do this if we're just working in the seasons, just doing what you're supposed to do in the winter solstice. It's just preparation for the spring, but we literally, through working on ourselves in this transformation cycle, we are going to harvest. We're going to see the harvest of the choices we have made for really, really soon. And so, isn't it worth the time to do that? Um, I just think it's such a period of synchronization that we are blessed to be able to experience. We are currently in a galactic moon of integrity. Integrity is the state of being whole and undivided. The five attributes of integrity are honesty, accountability, reliability, transparency, and ethics. So, what would your life look like with that kind of integrity, with you being in a state of whole and undividedness? What would that feel like? What would you be in harmony with? And how would you live in that vibration of being whole and undivided, that nothing can make you think less of yourself, and you understanding that you are okay just as you are? That allows you to initiate in a way that's so powerful. So, we're going to be dealing with energy and this spirit energy of integrity that allows us to tap into integrity and everything that comes with it. And it's just awesome that it's happening around the core of the calendar because it allows us to, um, while we're going to the center of ourselves, to go with that idea that we are okay, we're whole, and being whole. What would we say to ourselves on the deepest level? What would our deepest inner self say to us? What will the galaxy or the universe or the deepest aspect of spirit say to us if we went to the very heart of it? We're in the current 13-day cycle of power, the white mirror wave spell. Um, it ends on the 27th. We literally have 2 more days of this energy where we are focusing on reflection, on our perspective. The white mirror, as I said, has been about when they explain it, like the judge, the victim, and the witness. And so we have to get out of certain roles that we play. How many of us are judging ourselves, being hard on ourselves, sentencing ourselves to certain lifestyles and reality based on things that have happened to us? And how many times have we played the victim, feeling like life is just happening to us and we have no control and no power? So that's important as well. Um, and then the witness is being able um, to look at things detached and being able to make decisions from there. So, and then again, being in a time cell of the matrix of self-regulation has been really important to just think how we respond to things. um, we have the ability and the power and the opportunity to regulate ourselves, to um, understand that we have emotions, but take a breath before we respond based on something that we have been triggered on. The When we get into the heart of the calendar, which we are right now, the red moon is letting us know that we have to purify. our thoughts, we have to, our emotions, we have to feel them and understand where they came from. We have to process them and formulate a new plan of action, a new story. We felt these emotions, but they're not to hold us down, they're to express. And then we move on to express something else. So, this wave spell is really, really important in terms of transformation, being able to shift our perspective, to work on controlling ourselves. And being in control of ourselves is a big task. We are controlled in a way, in a lot of ways, where we don't understand what our power is. We have not been taught what our true power as people are. So a lot of us have self-esteem issues. We have a lack of self control because we were not taught how to do these things, among other things. But I will ask, if you have not read The Four Agreements by Don Ruiz, and even if you have, read it again. You definitely want to read this book. He talks about the smoky mirror, which is directly associated to the white mirror, and you should definitely check it out. So we are in core days. We have been in core days since the 18th of February. We're at the core of the calendar, as you can see, is in lavender. It's our inner core as well as the core of the calendar. We are in preparation for deep transformation. We are 2 weeks, or I'm sorry, two wave spells into the transformation cycle. So if you've been working on initiating change, if you've been adjusting and change, we're going to start to see those changes as early as the um, next couple of days as we move into the blue monkey wave spell, where once we have figured out where we have been, where how we survived, what we were operating under, what type of energy we have, and adjusting our perspective on how we view ourselves from when we were surviving with the red serpent, and we adjust with the mirror and understand, okay, this is the reflection I see, but I can choose to see myself like that. I can choose to see myself differently. It's up to me. And then we move into the blue monkey, where we start to break illusions, when we understand that we focus on our inner child, where we take action and doing things a little bit different. We transform by, if we want to be a fireman, we envision ourselves being fireman. We go to the fire department. We take a tour. We go on a ride with firemen to see how it works. A lot of times only kids are able to do that, but we are able to mimic this process. Practice plain and practice make perfect. So, whatever you're trying to do, you can break the illusions that you've held about yourself. You can decide not to take life so seriously and allow perspective to put you in a different place, where you're activating as um, a magical being, just by being yourself 100%. So the 27th and the 28th is taking us to the center of the calendar, in the center of ourselves. Starting today up until March 1st, we are in the mystic void. This is when we move through the heart of the calendar. This is when we're in the 33rd harmonic. So we have 20 signs. Each four signs is a foundation of the initiation, refinement, transformation, and harvest. You see, every day there's a different sign, and it goes with a color, and it has a direction. And this is the 33rd grouping. This is the blueprint the 33rd blueprint. This is the blueprint that we tap into when we get into the heart of the calendar. Now, as you see, it's the 26th to the 1st. That's 5 days. We have four signs. What's going on? Well, the 29th, we know, has been named a leap year. And it was when the calendar was put together, there was not a leap year. We were not leap yearing in order to fix time because we know that time is it's a artificial construct. So so that's what we have to understand. There is no time. We've been given a um we've been given an artificial way of acting and moving that is a fake mimic of nature. But that's another story for another time. Um, as for what we need to know, this is a mystic void. There's no leap year. It's seen as a day at a time. That just means that the day before we have, the day before we start the calendar, which is July 26th, the 25th is a day out of time. So we don't have an association with it other that it's seen as a balance of time. So everything has a according to law, a equal and opposite reaction. The day out of time is the reaction to the time, quote unquote, concept. So leap year is being seen as a day out of time. That gives us extra, um, it'll give us an extra time to focus on our inner self this year, which I think is pretty awesome that is not recognized, but just it coming and landing where it does, it allows us to focus more deeply on ourselves. So I think that's really powerful in and of itself. But the mystic void is just like a moon void. When the moon is void, of course, we don't start anything new. We focus on completion. We focus on what already is here. And the same is said for the mystic void, except for this is the whole galaxy. This is not just Earth having the moon void, of course, because we know other planets have more than one moon, and I wouldn't even know how those voids would even work. But in terms of what we're talking about, this is the whole galaxy being on void, being on pause. So you definitely want to follow the rules of the moon being void. We don't want to start anything new. We want to focus on the present because what is present is going to be so important and vital in moving us forward personally, individually, and as a global planetary um, galaxy, I guess you could say. It's just really important. And so when we talk about the mystic void, it is the 33rd harmonic. The 33rd harmonic is, we associate that with the master number 33. It's the master teacher. It's all about creativity and learning, expression. We know that all things are possible. This is the nurturing and protective energy. It is the balance. Um it is the balance. It's the middle. It's the heart. It's the spirituality. And so in the mystic void, this is what we need to focus on to complete anything we have going on. We need to purify our emotions. We should initiate this time by purifying any emotions that we're stagnant with. We need to focus on what we love, what we're loyal to, and what ways and to whom we are coming from the heart. And if we're not coming from the heart, if we're not doing what we love, if we're around people who are not loyal, this is how we adjust, especially within the white mirror. And then when we hit the day of the blue monkey, that's a whole new wave spell. So this is a whole new energy where we are breaking ties with the 3D world. We are going on our intuition. We are no longer taking this world seriously because we know that the focus should be inward and we can now play. Well, how are we playing? Like me doing this video, me preparing for this video, talking about the calendar is what I love. So it's me playing with it, making sure, oh, you get all the information, and I am reporting on how you can change your life with this system. I'm playing with it. It's me tapping into my magic. And then we also have to focus on influence because this is what allows us to harvest. It's what influence are we under? Under whose influence? If you go back to the 3D, you're going to probably not feel free. You're going to focus on that spirit energy of the day, which is a challenge. You're going to feel challenged. So it's going to be about whose influence. Are you influencing other people or are other people influencing you? Are you going on other people's wisdom or are you finally going to tap into your own wisdom? And last but not least is free will. We all have choice. And even not making a choice is making a choice. So this is the 33rd harmonic. It's the master teacher. Um, it's important. Um, also, this 33rd harmonic, this 33rd grouping of the foundation of four, um, is 33. Our spine has 33 vertebrae. And we ascend into knowledge from our kundalini, where the energy goes from our sacral all the way up to the base of our neck. I'm sorry, the base of our neck at the base of our brain too. I'm sorry. And so it's just really important to know that um spiritually we are illuminated um, when with this kundalini energy. And in core days, I've been having people, um, we work on our spine and make our spine flexible. If our spines are not flexible, they become fused, and again, things become stagnant. There's no flow, and there's no way to ascend spiritually. The number 33 is also associated with ascended masters. So you can also meditate and tap into the ascended master who um, can help you at this time. But it's all about being willing to be taught and to tap into the master teacher. The blue monkey teaches us that is our inner child. The master teacher is us. And that's what we find when we go into the mystic void. So the chakras that we're going to be dealing with for today are the root chakra, which is our areas of safety, security, feeling grounded, our roots, our ancestral ties, our manifestation. The herbs and oils we can use to tap into our root chakra to help maintain and balance it is our cloves, cedarwood, vetiver, cypress, and rosewood. The crystals that correspond are garnet, ruby, tourmaline, smoky quartz, and bloodstone. We are also tapped into the solar plexus, our self worth, our personal power, our self respect, our control, um, our inner sun. We need to get in touch with our inner sun and bask in the light of who we are. The oils that help us do this are rose oil, lemongrass, and juniper. You can also um, tap into topaz, citrine, and tiger's eye to get that balance and to help us as we're going through these days. Make sure these 4 days starting today, you take the time each day, even if it's 5 minutes, and just kind of manifest some energy. Have a talk with yourself. Talk to your inner child. I did it the other day with little Ali Taj, and um, it is awesome. You have to get beyond. Um, I know a lot of people who, when you talk about anything spiritual, anything that's not 3D, they get uncomfortable. They don't understand. They're not connected. We have to learn how to move beyond that in order to complete the mission to which we have agreed to be here to accomplish. Monday are moon days. This is the best day for setting an intention towards spirituality, family, children, fertility, dreams, emotions, so on and so forth. We are in the waning moon phase. We are still getting insights, revelations, and peaks from the full moon that we experienced on Saturday. The moon is moving from Virgo, which gave us a deep attention to detail, how we serve ourselves and others, our career, our health, into Libra. So, focusing on ourselves to how you relate and connect with other people, marriages, partnerships, business partnerships, any connection with you and something else is the energy that we're going to be working on right now. And we are in a moon void, of course, which I think is interesting because it all lines up. The moon is void, of course. The galaxy is void, of course. So this is just a big stop sign. Do not start anything new. Do not work on anything new. Work on completion. Work on the inner self. Meditate, 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 meditate. Go out into nature. Find 5 minutes to be by yourself and just focus. It's really important to get to the heart of ourselves, and this is going to clear a path for us to move forward in confidence. So we're in core days. I do have the core day program. It's very intense for the next 4 days, especially as we are in the core of the core days. We focus on meditation, journaling, guided meditation, yoga, Reiki as we prepare our bodies for the energy that is to come. We also have Mayan Moon Mondays on Zoom where I break down the week. I've talked a lot about what's going on, but in terms of the whole week is what I discussed on Mayan Moon Mondays. So you definitely are welcome to join, get this knowledge, change your life. And last but not least, the Mayan birth reading. So if your Mayan birthday is one of these signs, you definitely want to pay attention. But I also have a Mayan birth reading where you can find out the heart and the core of who you are, how you operate, why life has brought certain experiences to you, and what your purpose is here. You can definitely get that through a Mayan birth reading. There's a QR code, and at the end there is a link that you can access my services. So I'm the Sacred Invisality, the Melanated Mayan Mystic. These are the places you can check me out, especially go to that Mayan Moon Mondays, the Facebook group. Um, Definitely be a part of this Mayan Moon Monday today. It is very powerful and it will change your life. Thank you for listening. Peace, love, and blessings.